Hi guys, and welcome back to Manthey-Racing. Why back? Well, because yesterday Mitch and I have covered all the info about the new Porsche Cayman GT4 Clubsport, and today, as promised, we're going to talk about the GT4 Clubsport MR. For people who either think that this is not extreme enough and want something different, or because you actually need this car to run special series. So, take it away. What makes it different, if you can even sum up in a couple of sentences? But I think, honestly, even by looking at it, you already see that there's a lot. But let's start with the most obvious parts that meet the eye, so to say.
Yeah. Main difference between those two cars is that the GT4 Clubsport MR is mainly developed to run in the SRO series worldwide, so the GT4 series. As most of the guys know, the GT4 series, all the cars are balanced, referring to BOP. So this means, depending on the performance of the basic car, you get additional weight, or you got ride height, and so on. So what we did with the car was, first of all, we put a lightweight kit on the car. As you can see, all the body parts which are in carbon fiber, they are lightweight parts.
So these parts are actually differ to that car because this is wrapped and we cannot see it, but it's for our very easy visual explanation. We can say that the bumper, hood, the fenders, the rear bumper, and even actually the trunk, or the, well, you can call it the trunk in the Cayman, in the street version, you can put stuff here in the back, are from carbon fiber. The wing, the ducktail, so to say, carbon fiber as well. Is this non-carbon fiber on the casual version?
No, it's also carbon fiber.
Okay, so this is on this car the only part which is in carbon fiber, which you can have, well, which you will have in carbon fiber on a casual non-MR package.
Well, next big part to drop the weight is the front and the rear window are made of polycarbonate, so they are lightweight as well, instead of standard glass like on the competition car. We go ahead in the modifications by some SRO specific things, like for example the fuel tower for fast refueling. They have to match the SRO regulations, which is a premier valve to do the fast refueling. At the same time, the competition car comes with a three-way adjustable shock, but in the SRO series there is only two-way adjustable allowed, so therefore we block one adjuster on the shock in order to make it legal and approved in SRO series. Apart from that, we also have some minor effects you need for the SRO. So for example, we have the wrapping for the screen. We have different wheels on the car. We also have the safety mesh in here in order to avoid any damage of the vents behind the air intake.
Oh, and also the headlights. I guess this is also a weight reduction feature.
First of all, it's weight reduction. At the same time, the thing is that, you know, in competition use or in really race use, in case you have some trouble with your competitors and you have an accident, it was always the problem that in case you crash the car slightly and the headlight is damaged, they are quite expensive. So what we did is we use a headlight just in here, and we use a polycarbonate cover which goes to the front. So this means if you have a crash and it's just broken like here, you only have to exchange the glass and not the whole headlight, which reduces the costs in case of an accident.
Oh, that's interesting. I was expecting something of an answer along the lines, if you have a crash, then you don't cover the whole track in splinters, but in terms of safety for other participants. But this, I mean, how can you make probably the most cost-efficient race car even more cost-efficient? That's absolutely fabulous. Anything else what we don't see? Actually, very interesting feature, the nature fiber front splitter as well. Is there anything that does not meet the eye on the inside of the car that you change? Like, for example, the engine, is it still the same?
The engine is still the same, the gearbox is also still the same, so it's more or less simply parts which you exchange on the car, and it's not a core part of the car.
Mm-hmm. What about the interior? Is there anything different to that regard?
So from the inside, we also have some safety features added to the SRO car, which means the safety net, which you can see here inside left and right side of the driver, where you have the push button here. Then we added an additional foam inside the door, which even increases the safety of the driver. We have some connection for a sensor, which is mandatory in SRO series, so where the organizer locks more or less the data of the car.
Okay. Different question is, suppose I'm running in the series that supports or allows the casual GT4 Clubsport, and I want to have an upgraded version, so I get the MR version. Am I allowed to participate with those series?
In general, you can participate at VLN in 2 series with that car, or in 2 classes. The first class, which is quite easy, is the Cayman Trophy by Manthey-Racing, where we are running the Cup 3 class, more or less. What you have to do for this is just add the trophy package to your car. The trophy package is minor stuff, like for example also the safety net, also the foam, also the safety mesh inside. So this is not a big, and the refueling of the fuel cell on the front. But at the same time, you can also run your car in the SP10 class, which is the class where all the GT4 cars are running in. So this means if you go to Cup 3 class, you're competing against other Caymans, and if you go to SP10 class, you're competing against other GT4 cars, like the friends from AMG, from BMW, from S. Martin, from KTM, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's very interesting, and obviously any other GT4 related championship in the world, it just depends on the regulations and the balance of performance, whether this car is going to fit. And again, it's a very interesting that the idea behind this car is to make it as light as possible, and after that, to meet the regulations, you will add different weight plates to it, right?
Exactly, so this is always the big aim, not to run already at the limit by matching the BOP, but you always try to make the car as light as possible, so you can add weight where you think the add creates the biggest advantage.
Speaking of the weight plates that you can add, you can purchase them separately, right? Throughout, well, either Manta Racing or Porsche?
Yeah, you can purchase them at us. So what we did, or this is what also changed at Manthey-Racing during the last 3 years, that, you know, back in the days, the thing was that Olaf Manthey had one race car, and it was the biggest aim to win with that race car and be the fastest with that race car. But when we started as a supplier of Porsche and we started to hand out the Caymans, it suddenly was not just running one car, but taking care about other cars. We also do the after-sales service on different racetracks. So this means there are engineers from Manthey-Racing at the VLN, at the Porsche Sports Cup, at the GT4 European Series. We are there with exchange part trucks, spare parts. So it's not only hand out the car and good luck, but this is our philosophy of a race team, that we will like to help the teams out there. And at the same time, you know, once we handed out the cars, the track day customers or the newbies in the race scene, they came and said, okay, I ordered an air check system, but how do I operate it? Or I want to take my car in and out of the box, how do I do that? So we said, okay, you need a pressurized bottle, you need car skates, you need an alignment system. And they said, well, can you sell it to me, because I don't have it? And we are using those tools for ages already. So what we did is just, we offered the parts which we are using throughout the year. We offered this to our customers, and they are really happy for it, because, you know, of course, professional race teams, they have it, but even though, or even they say, okay, that sounds really good and the products look great, because it's our, you know, aim to have a really good product and a good equipment on the racetrack. And therefore, we also sell our products in our equipment catalog, which means we're not only just handing out the car, but also help the guys afterwards.
Wow, very detailed answer. I was expecting something like, yeah, you can order it, and here's the price list, and go ahead and order some weights to it and make yourself race legal for your class. But we found out even more that we wanted. I'm amazed every time. Thank you very much. No, on a serious note, there's actually a lot of things that you can order, and if you want to have your own little race team, there are no secrets. The same equipment that you use, people can purchase through you and use it back at home if they want to. Of course. No, this is actually something really new, something you don't really hear in the industry. And again, you can just contact Manthey-Racing, or can they go to any Porsche Centrum, or it has to be specifically you? Because I guess specifically because it's MR.
No, the thing is that once you would like to order such a car at your Porsche Center, you will also be handed out this sheet of paper. So in order to choose your additional options which you want to go with the car. Yeah,
so basically people can go to Porsche Center and Porsche Center will forward them to you. So people don't have to Google your name on a sales sheet or whatnot. Porsche Center has had the right contacts and you'll be forwarded to it. And now the question that many people that we haven't covered, and many people I'm sure curious, are about the price for this set. That's so that's 27,000. Is that ex-VAT?
Yeah.
Okay, ex-VAT 27. Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to say. Also, just even like before, you always purchase the competition car as a base car from Porsche, and depending on the package, no matter whether it's a trophy package or it's a SRO package, this is the product which you order at Manthey through your Porsche Center and will be added to your car prior to delivery.
Yeah, okay. So some things can be made to make it an actual Clubsport MR. Some things are to make it a GT4 trophy if you want to race in VLN. And some things you can purchase separately. But I'm pretty sure, actually, although it does not say on this price list, things like bumper, if someone has an accident, can be also purchased separately. Yeah. But it does not make the car an actual MR car. Yeah. That's the only difference. So you can purchase separately just once you have already the part. We, again, have covered a lot of information on the base car on it. So if you've missed it, check out yesterday's video. And there is not much more to be said about this. And in case you do have questions, ask them in the comments and we will answer, or maybe even make a separate video when the car will be running, once the snow will go away and the racetracks will be open, and tell you more about it. So thank you very much again for your time and information. And I guess we'll see you next time, hopefully on the track when those babies will be running.